I'm a bad motherfucker.
Okay, so Elon, isn't he? Is he messed up on that crack? Is he hanging out in the back with Hunter, smoking up? Elon Musk slaps back at report alleging cocaine, LSD, and ketamine.
Seems like a lot of. Remember when he smoked?
But it would
weed?
Explain a lot. It would.
What, the LSD and cocaine.
It
and ketamine?
Undoubtedly would. Elon Musk took to X, formerly Twitter, to hit back at a Wall Street Journal report alleging that leaders at two of his other companies, Tesla and SpaceX, are worried about his drug use. In the report published in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, it was reported that Musk had used LSD, cocaine, ecstasy, ketamine, and psychedelic mushrooms. I mean, I don't hold that against him personally. Elon Musk has used illegal drugs, worrying leaders at Tesla and SpaceX.
What?
Well, that explains the psychedelic bus he drives around in.
Wait. Well, I don't understand what is the crazy. I still don't understand what the crazy behavior. I saw him saying, "Fuck the guy from Disney."
I mean, I don't know, man. When you start calling the heroic Thai divers pedos because they don't think your stupid submarine idea makes any sense.
What's the heroic Thai divers?
You remember the Thai diving team? They were like children. They were trapped in a cave, and they sent in like divers at great risk to themselves to get these kids out, and they did it. And Elon was like, "I'll send a submarine," like really just trying to get publicity for himself. And they were basically like, "Yeah, have a seat, rich boy. It's a dumb idea." And so he accused them of being pedophiles, like things like that.
Really
I mean, look, that could just. He thought they were his.
They were going to tunnel their way in.
It was like I don't trust you guys in a tunnel.
But I mean, okay, I kind of remember that, and I'm like, whatever. I'm just like when I stack
but he's
him up
always
against
doing
other...
things like that. He turned around and he tweeted out that he had the funding to take Tesla private. And he didn't. And that's a serious SEC violation. That's stock manipulation. So he's not a dumb guy. So he does things like this. Look, also part of my, you know, we had Taibbi on and we asked him about this.
Right.
And he was incredibly open and forthcoming about it. He said his experience of Elon was that basically it was like he had multiple personalities. Now that would kind of explain it.
Okay, I saw that. I'm just saying, all that thing with the submarine and the I don't see how that is still not.
I'm
crazy.
saying his behavior is extremely erratic, and this could be an explanation for why it's so erratic.
It's like a week.
I mean, he could just be a fucking screwball too. I mean, it doesn't have to be the explanation.
It don't seem to me like he's all on drugs.
It fits a lot of his behavior. Where you'll see him in one interview, and he seems very reasonable. He seems very charming, even. And then you'll see him in another interview. He seems batshit crazy. Now, yeah, that could just be a temperamental thing, but it could be this. All right, so let's see.
Every one of these guys acts like that. Every single one of them.
He's extreme. He's extreme. Most of these guys at least cover their ass. According to the Wall Street Journal, Musk, the world's wealthiest person, uses the drugs at private parties around the world where attendees sign non-disclosure agreements or give up their phones. Musk, while simultaneously leading Tesla to be the world's most valuable car company, Model Y is the, I guess you mean, best-selling vehicle on Earth, and SpaceX to be the world's most valuable space company, 80% of all payload to orbit last year. Whatever I'm doing, I should obviously keep doing it. I mean, I'm kind of with him on that. I'm not really slamming him on this story. I've done my share. Misha was out back smoking a roach when I got here.
That's right.
Like this, where he smoked a marijuana cigarette. Jesus Christ. He smoked a marijuana cigarette on the Joe Rogan show. I remember that being a big deal. And they're like, oh, the stock price. And I'm not. Holy shit, are you kidding?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been there. Musk went on to tweet that he hadn't tested positive for drugs despite 3 years of random drug tests following an incident in which he smoked a marijuana cigarette on the Joe Rogan show. All right. Whoever wrote this has not been laid since like 1989. A marijuana cigarette. After that one puff with Rogan, I agreed at NASA's request to do 3 years of random drug testing, the ex-owner tweeted. Not even trace quantities were found of any drugs or alcohol. If drugs actually helped improve my net productivity over time, I would definitely take them, Musk added in another tweet. People close to Musk, according to the article, say Musk's drug use is ongoing. SpaceX releases bizarre video in attempt to prove Elon wasn't on drugs. Over the weekend, Wall Street Journal... hang on, is this... One of Wall Street Journal sources described the event... Oh, okay, all right. The newspaper singled out a 2017 SpaceX staff meeting as a noteworthy turning point for the mercurial entrepreneur, with several sources saying his strange behavior suggested he could have been on drugs at the time. One of the Wall Street Journal sources described the event as nonsensical, unhinged, and cringeworthy. Now, SpaceX has published an excruciating 73-minute live stream of the meeting in an effort to clear Musk's name. But in many ways, the video instead raises even more questions following the Wall Street Journal's piece. In the video, Musk constantly struggles to complete sentences, repeats himself over and over, embarks on peculiar digressions, and at one point appears confused about what day of the week it is, confusing Friday for Tuesday. I mean, these are all cornerstones of our show. So I don't know what they're talking about.
You know what his big crime is?
That's just a typical episode.
He let Trump back on Twitter is his big goddamn crime. Everything.
Oh no, I know they're coming.
Everything's about that.
I know they're coming for him. I mean, they if this were Jeff Bezos, they wouldn't report it.
Bill Gates owns all the seeds.
Bill Gates, they wouldn't report it. No, they definitely are coming for him.
But like, I still don't get what his crazy behavior is.
That doesn't mean it's not true. My stance is, I think he probably is doing drugs.
Why would he not do drugs?
And I don't care.
Like I don't.
That's his business.
If I'm the richest man in the world, I'm gonna get space drugs.
Leave him alone. I mean, is he flying the rockets? All right, so fuck it. I'm doing color commentary. SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell says at one point as Musk struggles. We didn't practice this, by the way, this comedy routine. It's all extemporaneous. Oh, you don't say. Overall, the video does little to convince the viewer that Musk is fully okay. He seems relentlessly jittery, and his speech is filled with excruciating stutters and pauses.
That's how he talks.
Quote, sorry, I got almost no sleep last night, he says. Brain's not working properly.
That's how all nerd Asperger people... In fact, that's Kyle's impression. He goes, oh, I'm really cool, right? Like he wants to be cool so bad.
In short, it's impossible to tell with any degree of certainty whether Musk was on drugs during important staff meetings over 6 years ago. But while Musk claims to have submitted himself to drug tests over years, the public has yet to see the results of these tests. Given his erratic behavior at the event, as well as his well-documented tendency to mislead and lie, there's certainly still a case to be made. Whether these reports will lead to anything is doubtful, though. Analysts are already predicting that investors at Musk's EV maker Tesla won't care about the Wall Street Journal's allegations. They're right. But they're not laughing either, especially following his disastrous takeover of X, formerly Twitter. Are they going to just start calling it fucking X?
It's what's the disaster of Twitter? Honestly, what's the disaster?
We'll get to that. Musk's distractions and off-color antics have greatly strained his relationship with investors. And here's a reasonable tweet from Reason magazine.
Are we in the 50? What is this?
With Reason, those guys are libertarians, right? Keane, they're libertarians?
Yes.
Let Elon Musk enjoy drugs while they're being consistent to their principles. All right, so this is my take. Yeah, he probably does do drugs along with a lot of other Silicon Valley richies. I don't care. Like, what does it matter? Like, is this a hit piece? Yeah, definitely. Like, did Wall Street Journal write a hit piece because he kicked out the fence and he's not staying in line? Would they write this about Bill Gates? Would they write this about Jeff Bezos?
The Epstein thing just came out. You're talking about drugs.
Right. I agree. I think it's probably true. I just don't care, and I don't think they wrote it with honest motivations to protect shareholders. Like, and you're right. I mean, you don't, with these kinds of like, you know, rich eccentrics, you don't really need drugs as an explanation. I suspect it's true. But again,
I agree. I think exactly what you just said.
I suspect it's true. I don't care.
I think if he didn't do any drugs, whatever asshole-ish thing that anybody noticed would be the same. The same exact goddamn thing, because he's a turbo like nerd. They can't communicate properly with people. They're all Hannah Gadsby in their communication skills, and besides that, he's the richest on paper guy in the world. So how do you think somebody? You see that coach? What's that football team where the guy's giving them motivational speeches and he's clearly on the spectrum? Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, I'll find it for you. There's this their new like
an on the spectrum motivational speaker.
Yeah, but I don't know football. I was doing Josh Potter's podcast. He showed me this hilarious clip, all these like black football players, and this clearly severely autistic guy trying to hype them up. And it looks like Elon dancing in front of his Tesla.
Well, I think we know what our leading story Wednesday is going to be.
Well, you guys, do you want to be a dirty train or a clean train that goes fast to his destination? It's all like stuff only has to be said about.
Send that to me. All right, so bottom line here, yeah, Elon's on drugs, probably. Nobody really gives a shit. And Bill Gates should be in prison. And they don't want to report on that. I think that's our take, right? Keaton, would you co-sign that take?
Well, it's a complicated case. A lot of things, a lot of outs, you know? It's a complicated case, Maud.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have you.
Yeah, a lot of ins, a lot of outs. You're not hip to all the new shit, you know? No, I mean, Kurt, I think you're right. I mean, he is a personality type. He's a type. He's the Silicon Valley type. I called these guys, I said, they're like billionaire Kramers. They're very impulsive. They believe the last thing that they heard from the last person who's told it to them in a convincing way. That's why they probably come off like they're on drugs, because someone who's on drugs, you can say over here, over here, over here, boom, over there, right? And
right,
you know,
right.
And he doesn't seem to make decisions that reflect any kind of like consistent principles over time, you know? And so I think that is where a lot of that comes from. But I think it's a personality type. It's ultimately, at the end of the day, it's the Mark Zuckerberg. It's the move fast, break things ethos. It's all impulse. It's all ego. It's all id. You have a vague sort of vision of where you want to take your company, and by extension, where you want to take the world, because all of these people have, you know, these very grand visions of themselves and how they're going to influence life on Earth moving forward. But it's vague, and it changes from day to day, or sometimes moment to moment, and that's why I think he probably comes off as he does.
Do people think Zuckerberg is a lizard alien? Is an actual alien? Because when I used to be a human,
there's good evidence for that.
Slipped up and said that. You see that clip of him? Because I know when I used to be human, and he it's just a mistake. He's not a different species. Sure. But they all can't. They're all like trying to be like that Steve Jobs.
I mean, God forbid he starts digging a tunnel. That's all we need.
He's burrowing into Hawaii.
See, here's what I don't understand. Zuckerberg, from what I know, he's one of those who has one of those apocalypse compounds. What makes you think the people you're going to need to run it aren't going to kill you first thing? Like anyone you would need to repair things and run the machines.
They will have a hologram.
What once the civilization collapsed, what the fuck do they need you for?
They will attack.
You're
my
redundant.
Hologram. I will be safely in a pod. They will go for my.
All right. I think that is our show. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, January 26th and 27th, I'm at Nashville Zanies. If anybody out there wants to come to it.
Say it again.
January 26th and 27th, I'm at Nashville Zanies.
All right. Nashville Zanies.
Great club, great town.
All right. Cool. And Keaton, where can they find you?
Do Dissidence, YouTube, Rumble, Substack, all those places.
All right. You have a show tomorrow, right? I might stop by.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out what to do for that. But yeah, we'll figure out something.
Don't show them how the sausage is made. How many times do I have to tell you?
I said we'll figure it out. That's all. Call me. We'll work it out.
All right. Thank you. And to Misha for super chats.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break, and I will set up
break
for super
chats.
chats.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit